But okay, my question is though, like, don't you think there is like a difference just because this isn't a disease? Like every other issue in the world, you can solve by talking, you can do other things, but this is a disease. So it's like, yeah, we can say it's selfish, but at the end of the day, if we all go gather right now, the disease doesn't care, you're gonna get it, you know? So it's like even if I don't want to follow the stay-at-home order, right? And I go out with my friends, it's like at the end of the day, okay, cool, but you guys are still at risk of getting it. And I have to be willing to take that risk. And if they're willing to take that risk, it doesn't matter. And it's not, it's a difference when we're talking about like just going, like the movie theaters are going to stay closed because at the end of the day, the government controls everything. I feel like it's not even just about their family. I think it's just about like, if we open it, then people are going to be mad too, da 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 da. I feel like I don't think it's just about them. I think they just see it as, I don't know, disease. Like it's, everybody can get an infection. It doesn't discriminate.
Right. Yeah. And we've seen like, it doesn't discriminate.
But it does discriminate.
We look up to like some of the people we look up to, some of the celebrities, some of the like the most, popular people, like government officials, people from other countries, like ambassadors and stuff, they do not care. Princesses didn't care what your title was, like to Corona, you're just a human being, and she actually never cared.
But what's interesting though is I feel like a lot of the people fighting for people to stay at home are the people who are going to be the first people in line to get help. Whereas like we don't have, okay, obviously like this is bringing it to a different level, but like illegal immigrants have no say, but they should be the first ones being like, everyone stay at home because there's nothing I can do. Mm-hmm. And my life is on the line and I won't be the first one in the hospital trying to get help. Whereas I feel like a lot of these people complaining, you're going to be secured. And right. I think
and it's also like, what? I mean to cut you off there, but it's also just like, okay, yeah, there's that, white woman, Becky, who's screaming, open the stores, open the theater, open the mall, open all this stuff. But like you're saying, at the end of the day, she's ready to risk it because she knows that if she gets it, she can get a test within 2 days, right?
Because her dad works at the office, so she'll
exactly. Like she just has those resources available to her. That's her
right.
Saying, and she's living her life with that privilege. But like, there's some of us who realize, okay, we're less privileged, which is easier to realize than realizing you are more privileged, right? We're less privileged. And so we don't have that risk to take. Like we get this and we get the virus and we might not even be able to get tested, or we get the virus and, maybe I have to be in the hospital, but I don't have the money to pay for that. But I don't have like the resources to spend days in the hospital bed with the ventilator, right? Or even if it's kind of just like, your age, because we're seeing right now, we've heard conversation of, your age could play into whether you get certain medical treatment or not, for things that are like limited, like ventilators and stuff. I don't think in Minnesota we've had to get to that point yet, thankfully, but who knows where we might be because this whole thing is rapidly changing. Say you're someone of older age, you don't have that luxury of just going out and just taking the risk, because you say you get the virus and you have to go on a ventilator and they have to tell you, sorry, you're over 60, you don't get one. Then what are you going to do?
And then, of course, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, like we guys talking about, like, it's truly exposing the socioeconomic gap in this country, right?
Yep.
Why the top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 50, right? And that's why we start to see, these NBA teams and millionaires get more tests than the first 100 people who are diagnosed with the cases in the United States, right? Because they have more money and liquidity available, right, to pay for those tests, right?
An influence on society to carry news.
And last time I checked, everyone has the right to health care, right? And just to see that happen, that people were dying because they didn't have access to tests and they didn't have the right treatments. Right now, as we're quote unquote the leaders of the world, right? One of the most developed countries on earth, but yet our own citizens can't even have access to these tests when their life depends on it.
Yeah, exactly. America's kind of like a third world country in disguise, because at the end of the day, if you're not the rich, you're not getting anything. The government is not going to protect your interest as a human being. It is not here to save your life. It cares about money over you as a human being. So that's why I think it's so important that we like people who the system isn't going to protect. Like white Becky can be at the protest right now talking about how she wants the stores to reopen because she's not the one who has to work in the stores. She's not going to come in contact with 500 customers a day. She's going to come in contact with one worker and then bounce. She doesn't care about the system because she doesn't have to work in it. She's not a part of it. So when we're the ones a part of it, it's like, wait, what control can we have right now? What control is in their control, you know?
Right. Right.
Where the system is really, really broken because we're not going to get those tests for a long time. If you don't have the money for it, you're not going to get it. How can we protect ourselves?
And that's funny you bring that up. So I was watching CNN yesterday, and there was actually the mayor of Las Vegas was on there, and she wants to reopen all the casinos and all the hotels, right? Right to reopen the economy because they're quote unquote suffering too much right now. Just imagine these billionaire hotel owners are suffering. I just can't even imagine it. But
I can't imagine I hope they stay safe.
Right. Overlooking Los Angeles. I mean, please. But to the point, so Anderson Cooper goes on to ask her, you know, if we reopen these casinos and hotels, are you going to be sitting down there, you know, with the card dealer? Are you going to be sitting down there with the doorman? Are you going to be sitting down there with the bartender, right? Because ultimately you're putting their lives at risk. And the fact that she could not answer that question, right, because she was concerned about herself and her safety, right? But she was willing to put the lives of other people at risk, right, for the greater good. And that goes back to the capitalist society, right? Everyone wants money in their pocket, right? And so when our economy is starting to suffer the way it is right now, and the money is starting to decrease their bottom line, that's when they start to really speak up, right, and start to put other people's lives at risk in order to ensure their own safety and financial well-being.
Amen.
And just look at how much like money is driving how people are acting right now, what people's stances on like the stay-at-home order and reopening the economy. I hear more talk about we need to reopen things because the economy is suffering. The economy is suffering. And at the end of the day, all I'm hearing is money is being lost. Like money's not being made. Not even money's being lost, but money's not being made. Like we're in a standstill right now. And it seems like people just are going crazy. But at the end of the day, it's just like in our capitalist society, it has trained people to be more concerned about gaining money than protecting lives. And right now, this is literally like the biggest test of all time that could possibly happen. Like our economy is basically shutting down, and not only individual states' economies, but the nation as a whole. Like we see what's happening with the stock market, but we also see all of these deaths, and the death toll is increasing, and the number of people who have been confirmed with the disease are increasing, and people are forced to like kind of pick a stance almost. The stay-at-home order is not going to support both the economy and lives at the same time. So it's kind of like you have to pick a stance. And it's just crazy because like the more and more time that goes on, you see people like shifting their stance to the economy, to the money side. Because, okay, a week without making money, okay, we can do it. A week and a half, ooh, it's getting hot. 2 weeks, nah, I can't do it anymore, right? And so people are starting to turn. And we're not even at the end game. This isn't even the end game yet, right? Our governor just shut down schools today for the rest of the school year. So that's the end of May. So who knows what could happen going into June? And people are already pooping their pants.